The first one, as I was telling you, you need to point out that there are some models called config, some called them operational. In some models, there is no such a split, but you will see within the module something like RW letters and some RO. So some models are used like read-write or configuration, Cisco they call it, to push the configuration down to the network element. So read-write meaning that for this particular pass, you would be able to put the value you would like. So read-only, if you will see it like as read-only, then the models are used to extract the data from the network element. So basically, it is used to extract the either configuration or operational data for model-driven telemetry or something like this. Because model-driven telemetry is also relied basically on the YAN models, just on an operational one. So it would allow you to stream all the counters or of the interfaces. It's possible with the SNMP, but just an example, right? Or it will allow you to stream this the content of your BGP data routing table or your forwarding tables or routing. So basically, all the YAN models, whatever is defined in the YAN model, read-only, you could stream to your monitoring system. Second type of the models, whether they're device-oriented or service-oriented. So some of the YAN models are device-oriented when we speak about the configuration of the network element. These two models that I have shown, they are device-oriented. At the same time, there are some data models which are service-oriented. They not define the particular configuration of the network element. They're mainly working on the orchestration layer from their any kind of software portal or just from the orchestration as such, how to describe the service. It uses the same language, the same 4 building elements, but they're just not related to any particular network element. And which is okay, because YAN model is not necessarily related to the network automation, it could be related to any other field. And the third important thing is whether the YAN model is vendor related, like I was showing Cisco RSXR. These YAN models exist only in Cisco. So like Nokia has its own, Juniper has its own, Arista has its own, Huawei has its own. So the own models are typically very rich in terms of functionality, and they are following because the parse of the configuration lines of data models that within the vendor inside. Vendor agnostic models, they are created to overcome this vendor locks and typically is used to describe in the vendor neutral model and vendor neutral format some parameters which like describing the network element as a service as such. That's why IETF, you could see here, it creates many service-oriented models. They also created some network element-oriented models, and device-oriented models, but not that vast yet. So OpenConfig, some time ago, the development of OpenConfig was very, very active. Now it might be a bit stopped or just not that active as it was previously. It's a device-oriented model, but it is an approach to configure all the network elements in the same way. It describes them in the same way using the OpenConfig data model instead of vendor native, and push the configuration down to the network element in this model. So to make it working for a device, we'll speak in the next session, the next Saturday, about